Hello, so here we are again at Radiant, and now I'll just show you some basic stuff that you should know before you start making maps for real. So first off, we're gonna start with putting our grid to 4 because 8 is just way too big. Your brushes will be just too big and you just won't be able to do anything with it. So now let's first create a basic building. So I'll just create a ground below our feet. So now apparently my camera was a little bit too low. So here, oh yeah, by the way, you can also adjust your brushes by just left clicking on your 3D screen and just drag it up like that. So there we go. Now we've got our ground. Well, for now we're gonna have to make our ground just like a brush. So later on I'll teach you how to create terrain, but now I'll just teach you how to make just a house, and I'll just teach you the tools a little bit. So we've got ground, and we're gonna have to make this in a calc texture, because calc, what it does is when you compile your map, calc textures won't render in your compiled map. So when you're in the game, this texture will actually be not visible, and you will be able to look right through it. It will be solid, but it just won't affect your FPS. Your game won't see the texture. So that's helpful to just cover up some parts of your brush that you can't actually see when you're in the game playing your map. So otherwise, when you don't calc it, the game would render it and it would decrease your FPS if you use a lot of brushes. So this is just a must to use. The calc texture must be used. If you don't, you might get in trouble later if you really start to make huge maps. So now, that was quite an explanation. Okay, so what was I gonna do? Oh yeah, so we've got the ground, and I'll show you how to get to the calc texture. You just have to go to textures, usage, and tools, and then over here is a calc texture. There we go. Now I'm just gonna go to show and use because all of these textures are ugly. So here we go. Now we'll just create a wall, but before we're gonna do that, we don't know how big this platform is gonna be when we're in the game. So we're gonna create an actor. We're just gonna put, like, I always take a ghillie suit because it's fucking cool, and you have to line his feet up with the floor. So obviously we can't see it. We have to change our axis as I've taught you in the previous video. So now back to the top view, move it around a little bit to a place where we can build around. So here we go. Now let's create a wall. I would want my wall to be this long, so you just draw it on the grid. And because the previous thing that you selected is your character here, this wall will be exactly the same height as your character. That's because you have selected him previously. So if you create like a wall this high, for example this high, like that, and you go to your top view then, and you create another wall, this wall will be equally as high as that one, because this one is what you selected previously. So, well, that's fucking ugly. I'm gonna remove that. To remove a brush, you just press backspace while selecting it. There we go. I'll just quickly create 2 more walls here, or 3. I'm gonna create 3 walls. Let's create a house. Gonna suck though, but that doesn't really matter. Oh fuck, it's not high enough. So to select multiple brushes, you can just hold shift and just click on all the brushes, and you can select them at the same time, and just in the grid just enlarge them. Now go back to the top view. Oh fuck, I just clicked that. No idea what that does. Now we just have to line everything up a little bit to not make it look ugly as hell. There we go. Now we've got one key, and yeah, actually we got two very important keys for now, and that's when you press E you will get like blue dots on your brush, as you can see over here. And what these blue dots will do is you will be able to change your brush. You'll be able to make some how do I say this in English? Some slide thing to it, as you can see over here. You can obviously see that it's stretching out, and now this is like a joint right there, and that's actually the way that joints are supposed to be made, like this, not like this. But that's just details and not really important, but just I always do it, I don't know why. Probably something to do with the lighting and all of that. So now that we've covered that tool, we have got the rotate tool, which is also very important. And what you can do, or what you're going to do to rotate the brush, is just select it, press R, and your brush will turn purple, and then you can just hold left mouse button and drag your brush around like that. If you want to decrease, or yeah, if you want to decrease the speed at which your brush turns, you have to decrease the grid, and now you can rotate it more precisely for when you want to do really detailed work. Just decrease your grid to the amount of detail that you want to have in your map. So I'll just put it on 4 right now. So that's that. Now we have our little house, so now let's give it some textures inside and also outside. So what we're gonna do is just select, like, Control Shift and select all of the walls inside, and let's give them a interior wall texture. So there are two kinds of textures. One is just a normal texture, and the other kind of texture is a decal texture. The decal, as you can see here, is not solid. You can run through it. If you use a decal texture, then yeah, well, you will just be able to run through it. It's just not solid. So that's all that's to it. And you've just got a normal texture without decal in the name, and that's just a solid texture like this. And that's what we want. So that's a fucking ugly wall. I'm gonna take another one, give it this texture, and now let's create a ground. Where is ground? Surface type, grass. Shit, Irradiant is bugging. So that's exactly what I mean. Sometimes this shit fucking bullshit program just bugs out, and when this happens, well, there's only one thing to do, and that's just save your program. Gonna call this tutorial. No, MP tutorial. You have to always put MP in front of your name. If you don't, you won't be able to load your map or test it in the Call of Duty thingy. So that's just basically what you do. Don't really know what to say about it. So now we close this and we reopen it. Where the fuck is my Radiant gone? Why did I close up? So here we go. And let's open our map again. So every time you reboot Radiant, you will have to put your grid back to 4, and Okay, now our texture should be able to load. What was I gonna take? Grass. Okay, so here we got some grass. And let's select our field here. Create some grass. So here you can see grass decal. When I use grass decal, you can't see the difference at all. So just gotta make sure that you use the right texture. I've had many new problems before myself with that, and I had to learn it the hard way and find it myself why it was not solid. So there we go. Let's create a floor quickly also inside of our house here, because it would be lame to have grass inside our house. There we go. Make it caulk and use textures, usage, floor. There we go. Put our guy, actually the guy doesn't really matter. Alright, here we go, we have our house. Now to cut out a door, what we're gonna do is just select the brush, then go to the axis where we can see the whole brush like this, and you press X, and you can put 2 points on your brush. And as you can see now, the half of the wall is gone, but it's still here. The pink half is gone, I guess. Yeah, the pink half is gone. So you just select it. There we go. And now you just Shift Enter, and there you go, your wall is cut into 2 pieces. If you don't use Shift and you enter with this, your piece of wall will just disappear, or nothing will happen. You see? Yeah, your piece of wall just disappears over here. So that's not what we want. We just want to have 2 pieces. There we go. Now we have to find this one. There we go. So here we are going to create our door. This is not the right measurement for a door, but I guess the guy will fit in the door. Yep, he will. We can go through it if you wanna. So now we will have to make a door frame, just a noob door frame. So I'm just gonna keep this as a caulk texture so I can show you in game what the caulk texture does in a minute. So first I'm gonna cover a few more things quickly because I've been recording for so long already again. So first what you need before you can test your map is obviously a spawn. So I'm just gonna put some deathmatch spawns in here right now. Press R to rotate them around so you don't spawn with your face to the wall. Also, you have to make sure that your spawns are just a little bit above the floor, like 2 units, or just have them floating above the floor. That's just the most safe thing to do, so your spawns don't bug out. To duplicate a spawn or any other brush, just press space and this duplicates whatever you have selected, like this. There we go, we just made a few spawns. Now we also need a reflection probe. That's really important for compiling. If you don't have a reflection probe, your compiling will most likely fail, and that's not cool, is it? So now we have this. We also need a global intermission. We can find this at MP, global intermission. It's actually the screen you will see when you are selecting your weapons and all of that, and when the round is over you will see through your global intermission. So now when we get into the game we will see right into our house if I aim it right, like that. There we go. You can see the arrow pointing towards here, so this is what we will see when we get into the game. I'm also gonna put a light here because we will have to make a skybox soon, but I'm not gonna do that in this video because then it will get way too long. So we can adjust the radius a little bit here. to make more light. Oh yeah, to bring up this entity window, just press N on your keyboard. Press N, select radius, and you can just change the value to whatever, and you can see the circle getting bigger and more light emitting. So that's what we want, and this should work now. If we compile this, no wait, I'm just gonna quickly make the skybox. All you have to do is just make a brush around it, press hollow as I taught you in the previous video, and no, I'm gonna did something wrong. For fuck's sake. Gotta make this calc. So show in use, calc, like that. Now select every face of your brush, your inside faces of your brushes. Everything selected, yep. Now go to textures, usage, sky, and these are all of your skyboxes. You can't see them in the preview, but when you click them it will change, so then you can choose your skybox that you want. I'm gonna take god damn it, which do I want? Okay, I'm gonna take this one. It's beautiful clouds, so that's good. Right, so now what we have to do next is just put our world spawn settings, and this will define how much sunlight we will get and which sunlight color and the ambient and all of the general lighting of your map. That's all of that we're gonna do in the next video. But now I'll just quickly compile this, and I'll show in the next video what this looks like. Or no, I'll just show you in this one. I'll quickly show you in this one. It's not long enough yet, is it? How long are we? 10 minutes? Pff, I don't know. So how to compile your map when it's done. So the first time you compile your map, you will have to do kind of some settings, I guess. It's different than the first time is different than all of the others, because you have to create kind of a lot of files in order to make everything work. So what you're gonna do is open your compile tool, which is in the compile tools map, and just go to level compiling. Now we're gonna do our light, just go to light options and mark extra. This is, well, extra is just the top compiling. Every light is perfect, but it will take ages, but that's no problem at the moment because our map is not big at all. If you would compile my map that I showed you in the first tutorial, or the second one, then it would take over 2 hours, so that's not ideal, is it? So we're just, in that case you can just take fast, but now extra will do. So select tutorial or the map that you made or saved as, then compile BSP, and this will compile your BSP and it will open up your Call of Duty. Just close it, and now compile reflections. Alright, I'm back. For some reason my driver disabled my microphone for some weird reason. I don't know why. It's fucking bullshit. But I'm back, and I think that you've seen the compile reflection window. So now we have to click build fast file, and this is what will come up when you compile your map for the first time. There are no zone files. Would you like to create them? Just click yes, and then this command thing will pop up and give some errors, but you don't really have to worry about that. The warning is also just bullshit, so just press OK. Then you have the zone file here, and we don't have any missing assets. That's very good. From the missing assets window here, you could remove the sound, everything with sound in front of it, just remove it. It's just gonna increase your file size of your map by 4 times more, and you don't really need it, so just remove it. You'll thank me later. And then save. Has been successfully updated, blah blah blah. And then we can run the selected map. So here we are in our Call of Duty in MP tutorial, the best map ever made. And as you can see, this is our global intermission that we created. And now let's spawn. Just click player, and here we are in our map. We can run around, and this is what the cog does. You can just see through the walls. It's solid, but it won't render, so you can just look right through it. That's what cog does. So here's our map, and you might have noticed the rainbow colors on my hands and my gun. Well, I'll teach you how to fix that in the next video, and in the next video I'll also explain how we can create terrain and add some models maybe. Yep, that's what we're gonna do. Sounds like a plan. Well, I don't know, I'll just see what I'm gonna do in the next tutorial, whatever I feel like doing. So, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you, see you later, have a good one, bye bye.